What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be talking about Peacemaker, and as a fair warning, I will be having some spoilers for Peacemaker the show and James Gunn's Suicide Squad when I'm getting into what I want to talk about. So, just a fair warning in case you haven't seen either and you don't want to be spoiled by it. Now, so Peacemaker is completely over. I've watched every single episode, and for the most part, I loved it. I think the first episode tried a bit too hard, but overall, as a season, I really liked it, and I'm looking forward to season two. James Gunn didn't let me down. I think John Cena gave a fantastic performance. Everyone really did a great job. Vigilante is the best in the entire show, and I love him. And the music of the show is fantastic. Now, that being said, there was one thing that was on my mind as I was watching Peacemaker that doesn't exactly have to do with the show itself. It more has to do with the fact that the show even exists as a whole. You see, in the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker ended up being the twist villain at the end of the movie. Because of his ideals, it set him in a course against the rest of the Suicide Squad members in a light that the audience didn't really agree with him, but you could understand why he was doing what he did, even if you didn't agree with it. So, in Peacemaker, you see that he has an internal conflict because he feels bad about what he did. He feels bad that he betrayed his friends and that he murdered Rick Flag in the process during the Suicide Squad. And I do really love this character arc that he goes through in Peacemaker. You see how he doesn't like everything that happened, everything that went down. You see him emotionally torn up about it. You learn his past and how he ended up that way and what led him to his actions. And you see him become a better person by the end of the show. And I did truly enjoy seeing that happen in the show. And I think it really needed to be done in order to help people connect with Peacemaker after what he did in the Suicide Squad. My only issue with it is knowing that he is remorseful about what he did kind of kills the fact that he was the twist villain in the first place. Because I really thought that him being the twist villain, that his ideals were so hard set that put him against it. That he wasn't inherently evil, but he's just like, you know what? This is what I believe in. You guys are going against it. I'm going to stop you. But now he's kind of reformed as a person, and he agrees that what he did wasn't the best course of action. And I just don't like that. It just feels off to me because now every time I rewatch the Suicide Squad, I feel like, okay, yeah, you're doing this, but like you don't really agree with it. You don't think it's right. You're just doing it in the moment because your lesson hasn't come through yet. And that just really irks me because I really did love the Suicide Squad and I love Peacemaker as a show. I just didn't really like that twist, that he feels bad about everything that he did. I understand why, because you need to bond with Peacemaker in his own show to make him more of a hero. But also at the same time, I feel like you could have had him be unremorseful, that he could have understood what he did, accepted it, and thought that he did the right thing in the moment. I mean, there are other comic book characters out there that have mindsets that you may not agree with. Take like Punisher or Rorschach. They have very hardened ideals and they're killers in their own rights and they do it based off of what they believe in. So people still love those characters and they maybe not empathize with them, but they still enjoy the stories that are told with them. So I feel like they could have done something like that with Peacemaker, is that Peacemaker could have just been like, yes, I did what I did because I believed it was right and that's how I feel and I'm not going back on it. But at the end of the day, him feeling remorseful still did work for the show Peacemaker, and I really love Peacemaker, the show as a whole. I just feel like it kind of taints the character that they set up in the Suicide Squad a little bit by having him kind of go back on his beliefs and change his beliefs over time. It's not a big problem. It's just a nitpick. It's just something that, was on my mind as I was watching Peacemaker. At the end of the day, Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad were really good productions by James Gunn. So far, he hasn't let me down with any superhero thing that he's created, and I'm very anticipating Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I just had that one nitpick about it, and I felt like I would share it on here. It's not a very long video, just felt like giving my thoughts out, and that about wraps it up. So, at the end of the day, hope you liked Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. If you didn't like either, or you didn't like one or the other, let me know in the comments. I'm curious what you think. I'm curious what you think about how I feel about this small nitpick between Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. If you agree, if you disagree, whatever, just let me know. And yeah, Remember to stay innocent till proven villainous, and I'll catch you in the next one.